Crushing livelihoods, a strategic analysis, the human cost of regulatory overreach in critical infrastructure, the erosion of economic opportunity for immigrant drivers within the Texas transportation sector represents a significant strategic vulnerability, directly impacting families and the stability of vital logistical networks. This situation demands immediate attention, not merely as a legal challenge, but as a critical disruption to essential services and a potent symbol of broader immigration policy complexities.
The potential for widespread disruption within the supply chain, coupled with emotional distress experienced by individuals and their families, necessitates a multifaceted response focused on both regulatory reform and targeted support.
Shifting sands of licensing, the root of the crisis, a cascade effect triggered by administrative discrepancies. The core of this crisis lies in the confluence of evolving federal regulations and the Texas Department of Public Safety's reactive implementation, resulting in the arbitrary downgrading of Class A CDLs. The driver's reliance on a temporary work permit, a legally recognized authorization to operate, coupled with the lack of proactive communication regarding the administrative changes, created a perfect storm of uncertainty and ultimately termination of employment.
This highlights a critical failure in communication and process oversight, transforming a routine regulatory adjustment into a devastating personal and professional setback.
Data and dynamics, a systemic breakdown, the interconnected risks of regulatory ambiguity and operational vulnerability. The driver's story reveals a deeply flawed system characterized by bureaucratic opacity and a lack of predictable pathways for compliance. The driver's 6 months of dedicated training and certification, validated by meeting stringent federal requirements, was rendered meaningless by a state-level administrative downgrade triggered by incomplete documentation, a scenario demonstrably preventable with clearer communication protocols.
Furthermore, the driver's reliance on a temporary work permit, tied to an ongoing asylum case, introduces an additional layer of vulnerability, contingent on the resolution of a complex legal process. The potential for further disruption to the supply chain, including the transportation of perishable goods and critical components, underscores the systemic risk associated with this regulatory shift.
Prognosis and pathways, securing stability and future resilience, navigating uncertainty, a call for proactive policy and operational reform. The projected consequences of this situation extend beyond the immediate loss of employment for this individual. They represent a broader threat to the stability of the Texas transportation network and the economic well-being of immigrant communities. A strategic next step involves immediate advocacy for streamlined communication protocols between federal and state agencies regarding licensing changes, coupled with the establishment of a clear, expedited pathway for drivers to reinstate their licenses under existing authorizations.
Simultaneously, a thorough review of the Texas DPS's administrative procedures is warranted, prioritizing transparency, proactive communication, and a commitment to safeguarding the livelihoods of essential workers who contribute significantly to the state's economy. Investing in this proactive approach mitigates future disruptions and reinforces the state's commitment to a stable and productive workforce.